And so this kind of translates perfectly into our second topic here, Aaron. A little panic in the P row as Will Rogers and Mississippi State are coming to town. I've been watching Mississippi State and LSU film all week. I do not feel great about this on a few different fronts. Will Rogers looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Your own quarterback rankings have reinforced that. And in Jayden Daniels, while the athleticism is elite and the results have been great, right? Here recently, talk about like last 8 drives. That's that everybody keeps using. Last 8 drives have resulted in touchdowns. And that is true. But when I watch that film, I see a Will Rogers that throws the ball like 3 seconds before his receiver's on the spot and it drops in there perfectly. And then I see a Jayden Daniels who he doesn't seem to play with a lot of anticipation. And he can still change the game because as let's but like he needs guys to be wide open. Like there's a few times where even against Southern, I'm watching film and you can see that Booty or somebody's about to break behind the defender. His hips are flipped. And so it's like, okay, just throw it to the spot he's going to be. And he just doesn't seem to have it in him right now. And that is a massive red flag for me, considering the offensive line still doesn't look good. And wide receiver is your best position group. But if you can't anticipate, you're going to struggle to feed your best position group.
All right, first off, first question is it Booty or Booty? Booty?
He says
Booty.
Booty.
We're going with Booty?
Traditionally,
he says Booty.
Traditionally, it's that last name is Booty, traditionally.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But
we're going with Booty.
You want to pronounce it how
Juicy
somebody
Booty.
pronounce it? Yes, Booty, just straight up Booty. He loves he says
Just
Booty. I love
Booty.
it too. I mean, I love Booty.
We all love Booty. You know what? Speaking of Booty, the fact that they got Keyshawn involved early in the game last week, I thought was good. They needed to. They got some jet sweeps, some easy completions. Just get the ball and get him feeling good. Same thing with Neighbors there. You get John Emery back at running back. I think that's a huge plus for them right now. Not to put the entire running scheme and pressure on Jayden. And he will get better. You say, okay, he's not anticipating like he should. Well, he's only been 2 weeks into the system. And let's not forget, he was in a three-way quarterback battle for the majority of spring, summer, and fall camp. So he hasn't had that time. And you look at the other side, Will Rogers, this is his 3rd year in the system. You know, there's a reason why he's able to anticipate throws. It's because he knows he's been in it. He's worked with these receivers, and it's just like, you know, it's second nature to him at this point. So that's the big difference. But obviously the positive for Jayden is his legs. He can run the ball like some of the best runners out there in the country right now. So, you know, I love Mississippi State. You know, I have them extremely high ranked. I thought they were the 3rd best team heading into the season in the SEC. I still have them ranked as my 3rd best team in the SEC right now. And it's not just Will Rogers, but when you look at the receivers, because this offense, this air raid offense is as much about the receivers as it is about the quarterback. They have to know what they're doing against every single coverage, changing the routes, being on the same page so that a Will Rogers can trust that, hey, if I hit my back step and I'm reading too high or single high, and I know this receiver should do this, I can just let it rip. And that goes to, once again, trust from both guys and knowing what the hell to do. And when I look at the receivers from Mississippi State, they got little fast guys that work well in the slot. They got 6'4", 6'5" receivers that they can move around the field too. Like, they have a little bit of everything. And all those guys are just in complete sync right now. I love what they have on the defensive side of the football as well. They get some bruisers. Their linebackers aren't afraid to get nasty in the blitz game. It's just a really good team on both sides of the football. And we saw it last year. We're seeing it early on this season. It was a great road win last weekend versus Arizona. And let's not forget, last time Mississippi State went to Baton Rouge, it was fireworks. So can LSU figure it out? Can they score enough points? I still am bullish on LSU with their talent, but I just think Mississippi State, like I said, at the end of the day, is just a really good team playing at a high level right now. And Will Rogers is in complete command of that offense. And it's scary to watch. The air raid can work in the SEC, and they're going to show it first off this weekend, I believe.
So, okay, as far as the last trip to LSU, I can guarantee you will not have a repeat of what happened with KJ Costello, right? That was a function of Bo Pelini being like, hey, let's literally play the worst defensive call that you could make against the air raid, and let's do it the entire game. It was like psychopathic. The talent thing is interesting, Aaron, because I agree with you. Like, as far as NFL players on the roster, LSU has more. I don't know how well suited LSU is to exploiting that, though, because I have major questions on the offensive line. And I'm not even overly impressed with Mississippi State's defense. I think they're all right. They got some big bodies on the line. I don't think the line is as good as Florida State's line was, which I was very guilty of underrating. But the thing is, I'm not really impressed with LSU's offense. The O-line, there were a lot of MAs, a lot of bad technique against Southern. And Mississippi State's D-line not be great, but they're going to be better than that. And LSU right now runs a more traditional rhythmed offense in terms of how quickly Jaden's getting rid of the ball. Like, they're going to have to hold these blocks. And so they're so like, yes, they're more talented, but a lot of the talent's a wide receiver. Can you get the ball to the wide receivers consistently? Yes, you're more talented, but you did lose your best player in Mason Smith on that defensive line. What role can the D-line even play this game? I mean, Mississippi State, I would love to play a line for Mississippi State. You don't got to hold the block. Will Rogers gets rid of the ball. They're not even picking up stunts correctly. It doesn't matter because you just don't have time to get back there. If I'm a D lineman for LSU, I'm just making sure that I'm getting my hands up to try to knock the ball down. Look at this. Yeah. Go ahead, Aaron.
Well, I think the big question in the topic is, can Coach Kelly hang in the SEC? And I don't think they have to win this football game. And this, kind of goes and contradicts what I was talking about earlier with Texas. Like, but they're at different levels right now. I don't think LSU necessarily has to win this game for us to feel good about the Tigers. I know them in that locker room right now. They know they're talented. I think they believe that they have just as much talent, if not more talent than Mississippi State, and that they should win this football game, especially being at home. But if to me as an outsider, if I see a competitive game, if I see LSU making less mistakes than they did versus Florida State, if I see better play at the offensive line and defensive line, then I'll feel good saying, okay, like there's a chance for this team to be competitive as they continue to build chemistry, as they continue to buy into what Coach Kelly's preaching on both sides of the football. So just make it good. If they win, then I think that accelerates, because all of a sudden you're talking about you win that game. Most likely you beat New Mexico. Yeah. I think they're better than Auburn. You could be 4-1 heading into that game versus Tennessee at home. And Tennessee at that time, most likely, I'm pulling up their schedule right now, most likely is going to be undefeated. They got a tough game versus Florida, and then get a bye before they go to LSU. But if you're 4-1, welcoming in Tennessee to your place, and you prove that you can slow down this offense, which is very similar to what Mississippi State runs, I think a lot of LSU fans are going to be really sipping that Kool-Aid pretty hard for Coach Kelly. Once again, I'm not anticipating a win. I just want to see, we knew you're going to play good versus Southern. Can we see improvement from what you look like against a quality opponent in Florida State to now, I think, an even better opponent in Mississippi State?